have David, bro. Don't worry. Where's that guy again? No worries, man. No worries.
Good job. Masih baru.
Hey bro, come here. Here, I got something for you.
Yo.
Hello, man.
Hello.
Take this right there.
Oh shit. Thank you, man. Well, you don't need it? Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nah, I don't need it. Thank you. You're welcome, bro.
Yeah.
Hey there!
Hey there.
Did you bring coin, Raina? I hope you did. Don't let it backfire.
Let's go. Yes. Utakata no yume to baka no Ayite no sa.
Let's go to the harvester. Let's head home at the Cliffside Air Shaft.
Gua lebih banyak ammo tadi.
Operator to field unit. Confirmation received. Await further instructions. Grid rerouted. Road 57. Keep your distance.
It's not a quality. So what I can teach you is how to not get workaholics as you age. Perfect example. A lot of folks who are a little bit on the older side and significantly healthy late in the day. Those who do that, probably you want to about 2 p.m. Right, so if you stop around 2 p.m., the half-life of caffeine is between 6 and 8 hours. So 8 hours later is roughly 10, which is roughly when people are kind of wanting to go to sleep. So I would say that that would help.
I think that's so good. I think about performance is simple. And I've always said that for sport books. I always always struggle to be able to do. In part of the later, but then I was also the one to sort of
Yeah, that characteristic of a characteristic of this night person. If I'm honest with you, dude, like most kids should not be waking up. Right? So many kids are waking up at real, like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. They have an hour-long bus ride. When they get there, and if you're an adolescent, I don't think anything could be worse, right? So we have to really start to try to be a little bit more thoughtful and look at what are some of the activities that kids are doing. We get naps during the day.
Let's do business.
Athletic performance can depend on sleep. Academic performance can depend on sleep.
If you lose that, you know where to find me.
has there ever been any research
Yes,
on different phototypes academic performance?
there has been actually. They've labeled it directly as another text. They've looked at it based on age range, and we know that, for example, here in the United States, there's a big push to change school starting time. So that way, high schoolers aren't starting at 7 o'clock in the morning, because high schools shouldn't be starting at 7 o'clock. Preschoolers should be starting at 7 o'clock in the morning because their body naturally wakes up at that time. So we've actually seen, there was a great study that was done at the University of Minnesota that discovered that when they just had people come in 1 hour later on their first period, by 1 full day, they were at least purely by changing the timing of their first class. So that should give you pretty good insight as to sort of these big areas, like, and also, like, this is not, like, I'm not telling you anything that's good. These are studies that have been wow. There's actually a
Let's go to the harvester.
This is research morning times, which is and higher grades, which is very cute because it's having to spend a period of keep
You got it. Sometimes wolves turn out to be much smarter, but because they can't perform at that sort of time scale. Because remember, wolves are like creatives. Like, it's create great conditions.
I got it, man.
Hello?
Stand clear for turbine separation. Passage is grounded.
Like these people that are out there that are probably trying to figure out what's going on. It's pretty cool to think about it.
And this is simply the simplest scenario and investigation of the states that if they had students found this
Lo tau gue merit gitu dari mana? Oh,
Exactly.
dari luar.
Often caught up and outperformed the morning people when tested in the afternoon or evening.
Exactly. It's pretty fascinating. Now think about it like this. Could you imagine a school system where we identified children as chronotypes during their particular age range, and then we changed the testing so that they got tested when they're at the peak hours?
Yeah.
They'd actually do better.
People don't know this. I never do podcasts in the morning.
I don't blame you. You shouldn't.
Yeah.
It's not your time.
Yeah.
Right? Like you have a very specific subscribed time that I think works well for you. So I think you should abide by it.
Duration of sleep. There's lots of conversation on how long you're supposed to sleep for. What's the trick there?
8 hours isn't bad. Let's be fair. Like we came up with that. Like studies, it's a great study at Stanford. Came up with 8 hours, 14 minutes plus or minus. Came up with that as an idea. The truth of the matter is, somewhere between 7 and 9 hours really is kind of the amount that people should be looking for. But some people don't have that luxury. Some people don't have that much time that they can put towards sleep, and so they get a little bit less. But with the lower level limit, I don't want anybody getting less than 6 hours. When somebody gets less than 6 hours sleep, their driving is off, and so you can't operate machinery.
How was you? Different guns?
Got a big carpool of your kids to school. You know, less than 6 hours.
That's gonna come in handy.
It's probably not.
You have to stop preaching about parents because it's you're either a parent now, it might be someday.
Absolutely.
Maybe you won't be. So those, I just want to you know, I'm not a parent yet, but when I see my brother who has 3 kids under the age of 7,
I was sleeping through all.
a lot, and his wife as well. But you must get parents eventually all the time being like, what the hell do I do? I've got to wake up when the kids wake up, and it's destroying my relationship, my marriage, etc.
So, parenting children and sleep are difficult to coexist about it. So I have a so I'm a little bit out of the realm of having to deal with them every day. But I was, like I said before, I was in charge of mornings at our house, waking them up, and it's a lot, right? And so the very first thing that I try to explain to parents, especially if they have a child who has irregular sleep patterns, that cause chaos for the rest, like one child who won't go to sleep and keeping in the whole house.
Let's go to the harvester.
This is Shani. I've identified the places most likely to give us a clean signal. Place the LiDAR scanners there. And don't fall down, Raider.
Sports the next day, theater the next day, whatever your computers, whatever your thing is, you can tie it to sleep and performance pretty easily. And so getting them to understand that becomes very, very critical. Number 2 is have some guidelines, right? Have bedtime, have wake up times, and follow them as closely as you can. For parents, oftentimes what I try to tell them to do is like, look, after your child goes to bed, you've got a child that has problems for sleeping, I call them on call. So as a doctor, sometimes you get a call in the middle of the night because you're covering patients from the hospital for your buddy or something like that. You're on call. So when you've got 2 people who are managing one child, one person handles Monday night, Wednesday night, Friday night, the other one handles Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, you flip a point for Sunday. So if the kid wakes up at 2 o'clock in the morning, both parents are fine. One parent has that responsibility, the other one keep their eyes closed and go to sleep. Interesting study was done looking at men and women taking care of child's problems. So we take care of the child, whereas men lie there fake sleeping in order to be able to sleep. Right? That's problematic. And how did they know this study because they asked the men afterwards what did you do? And all said, they looked up and they were faking it. It's pretty crazy when you think about it. But this is a big deal for parents. Right? A lot of parents turn to me and they're like, this have a child, maybe a child with special needs, or maybe a child doesn't have special needs, some other things going on, or maybe it's just normal development, and they're worried about it. And so what I like to sit down with parents to do is, number 1, let's figure out what you're doing to set some guidelines for this. But number 2, let's get this idea. Right? A lot of parents are just stressed out, and the first thing they do, grab a glass of water. Right? That's about the worst thing you could possibly do for sleep. Okay? Now, I'm going to teach people how you can still have a glass or 2 of alcohol without completely destroying your sleep. I want to be very clear about something. If you're using alcohol as a stress relief tool at night before bed, it's best for your sleep.
You might be in a state of sleep.
It's awful. And interesting to note, during the 1 stage of sleep that alcohol knocks out, which is stage 3 and 4 sleep, what's interesting is that during that particular stage of sleep, there's something called lymphatics. It speaks out into proteins that have a tendency to accumulate in your brain. Those things accumulate in your brain, they wrap around the nerves and they pulse. So stage 4 sleep is imperative to avoid pulse. When you drink alcohol, you can destroy stage 4 sleep. So it would be great if nobody drank alcohol, but we're not so stupid as to think that plus. I like this hydrate, that's so how successfully still drink alcohol and still get this sleep. Right? And so you have to get this class of alcohol. And your second class of alcohol. Second class of alcohol. By 7:30. 3 hours. 10:30.
Guess I'm gonna have to go hold down some other.
Sometimes, in significant nothing stages of is not all by this reason.
Yes. So that anticipatory anxiety for flight, and if I have an 8 o'clock in the morning flight, it's not possible to worry about the number one is biology. So your core body temperature rises. It's a peak. It drops. That drop is going to signal to your brain to release melatonin. And the key that starts to sleep. However, your core body temperature drop. By the way, it's why because again, your core body temperature drop equals to high. Down, which is it's not there. So here's what's interesting. And then at some point in time, your body has to heat up. If it doesn't heat up,
Hello, Raider.
Wait.
Stand by.
Hey!
Hatch open. Elevator ready to go.
Itself between 1 and 3 o'clock in the morning. However, most people patients don't have that internalized knowledge. So here are the steps you want to take to be able to solve this issue. So number one, don't go pee. I know. People are like, what? What are you talking about, Michael? So here's what ends up happening. People wake up in the middle of the night. They say to themselves, well, I'm up. I might as well go pee. Right? Here's the problem. Remember, I told you that medicine requires in order to enter a state of unconsciousness, your heart rate is 60 or below. Right? What do you think happens to your heart rate? You go from a lying position to a seated position to a standing position, walk across the room, your heart rate goes straight up. So what we want to do is keep your heart rate down. So if you don't really have to go to the bathroom, don't go to the bathroom. 75% of them sleep on their sides and kind of squinch up, which means they put pressure on their bladder. So my guess is that most of those people, all you did was when you woke up is lie and get on your back for about 25 seconds and see if you still need to pee. If you don't need to pee, stay in bed. Keep If you need to pee, please, don't pee. Right? If you're going to go to the bathroom, have a strategically placed it like right along the way. So you can do that. You just told your brain it's morning and it stops releasing. Well, let's say you don't have to get that. Second thing, don't go that. Now, this turns out to be.
At least I know you're good for it.
People out there. Because the first thing they do is they grab their phone and they like they're checking emails, looking at Facebook or Twitter or whatever social media they're on. They just should be consuming this or that's what it's as soon as you see the time, you instantly do the mental math. Now you stop. Right? It's 3:30 in the morning. I gotta get up at 6. Sleep. And you try to force your brain to sleep. Dude, in the history of time, nobody can be able to force their brain to sleep. Okay? Because your heart rate's going the wrong way. Right? It needs to be coming down. So if you can, you don't look at the clock. All right.
Need
so
something?
You have to look at the clock. But you're still awake and nothing's going on. Here's where the breathing technique comes in. It's called 4-7-8 breathing. I did not develop this technique. It's developed by Dr. Andrew Weil, Harvard doctor, super smart dude. He did it for the military to teach them how to lower their heart rate during stressful situations. We use it because it helps lower our heart rate past 6 and it's super simple. And it gives you relax. Go ahead, sit up straight. Right? And so all you're going to do is breathe in for a count of 4. You're going to hold for a count of 7. You're going to breathe out for a count of 8. And I'm going to walk you through it. I want you to have your eyes closed, and what I also want you to do, you're going to go in through the nose, out through the mouth, and then what I also want you to do is make sure the number in your mouth. So when I say 1, 2, 3, 4. Ready? Good. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Push, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You don't want to get to about 20 cycles of that. It's incredibly relaxed. I actually did it before I came out here to the pod.
Go to the harvester.
Yeah, there's some problems with that. Sometimes it's hard to hold for 7 minutes. It's hard to hold. It's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so count your way up to it. Right? If it's too hard to hold your breath for 7 seconds or too hard to push your breath for 8, you can do a little bit less just while you're getting used to it. And then the other big thing is it's hard to figure out where the 20 cycles. You need to get to 20 cycles of this. So what I have people do is take their hands and make light fists while they're doing this. And when they do one cycle, they put out a thing. Another cycle, they put out a thing. Before you know it, you got 10, and you bring it back. I know, I just thought that. I'm telling you, dude, this thing works, right? And so I have people do this technique. Here's the best part, is it avoids monkey mind. So what is monkey mind? Monkey mind is I'm thinking about stuff that I have no business thinking about in the middle of the night for absolutely no reason. Like, what's on the grocery list, or what did I say to my spouse, or did that podcast go okay? Many of the things that might be floating through your head, you turn on the challenge and worry at the same time.
And one does it, what's going on in the job, you're distracting the brain from the thing that's stressing you out. It's lowering your heart rate, and then the natural stillness is missing. So all these are distractions. Now, there's several of them out there. One of the other ones I use for some of my patients that I tell them, hey, count backwards from 300 by 3. It's mathematically so complicated, you can't think of anything else. It's so damn brain. You're out there. Other thing with distractions, other people go to bed at this age, podcast, we were trying to say that, and we I used to go into cigarettes, which is, that's interesting.
Wait till we get to the being smart of the podcast and you can straight
I think, I always think about why it is. My sister's the same. She why not give this possibility to all your friends and
I can't believe how quickly he went down. Wow.
I'm right to get it. So it's a very basic.
Thanks. Thank you.
And they are developed you by actually enter train while you are sleeping. And we spectacular state of sleep is sent in a frequency signal to help you. That's my I can listen to real sleep. My problem is the sleep and information. I think I'm French like this.
Okay, so that's really good in the way. Don't be don't check the phone, do the 3 exercises, do this part,
And then what?
yeah.
So there's the new research on something called non-sleep rest. We call it yoga. That's it.
Hello there.
Let's go. Damn, that was fast. How much? 12,000. Okay. Okay, that's more than enough. Way more. Way more. Actually, what about